actually already recorded this entire series, but I deleted it by accident. But I did say that I would record the entirety of my tiebreaker for Smogon Classic against Mael and Helpona. This video is going to be a bit shorter than the other two tiebreakers because one, there's less games, and two, those were just way too long. Like, I can't imagine anyone really wanted to sit through an hour of me talking. Even though I got pretty good at putting music in the background, I think. Blender told me to lower the music, so I'll do that for the next one. But yeah, a little bit of backstory. We played all 4 series in one day, which is good because I was moving that week, so I don't think that I would have been able to play. I probably would have got activity, which would have sucked. I was in a pretty pissy mood too, because it's like mentally draining to play 10 games, all of which have like really high stakes on them in one day, and then to think like, fuck, now I have to find a time like after work, after a 12-hour day, to maybe stay up late and meet up with some Europeans on fucking smog tours and playing some games. Like, I was annoyed because like they took my 2 points away that even put me in this situation, but whatever. I ended up winning, so I mean, it mattered until I lost first round anyway. Just as an aside, 4 of my friends are currently in Smogon Classic finals, or semifinals rather. Tsung, Shake, Dennis, and Alexander. Of those, I've worked with Tsung and Alexander a lot in the lead up in this tournament, like kind of all throughout. Probably Alex the most. He's an absolutely. I'll take a look at this real fast, and then I'll come back and start the replays. But let's see. Yeah, semifinals. Alex is probably, I think, one of the best players on the site. Very smart guy, really good at any single generation or tier he picks up, and previous winner of OLT. Dude's a beast, absolute beast. I can't wait to. And it's a shame he's playing Tsunami. Like, all 4 of these guys are my good friends, so truthfully I can't be upset regardless of who wins. And I'm just looking forward to see some good games. I guess I'm not helping anyone going into it because I would feel like a traitor that way, but otherwise, excited to see what goes on. So, going back to this, let's take a look at RBY against Mael. Zam Jinx, I'm just going to sleep, he's just going to T-Wave. If I don't get the sleep, he's going to Seismic Toss, but I do get it. I have a pretty free Blizzard here. He can stay in and try and burn off a sleep turn because he takes 2 Blizzards. The chance of me even hitting the Blizzard is 90 times 75, or 0.9 times 0.75 for anyone that got confused when I was doing that before. So it's pretty low. It's not pretty low, but it's not phenomenal chance to hit. And I have to hit 3 of them to even kill this. I say all that, and then I chicken out and just go right to Lax. But he does burn the sleep turn, so that works out for me. I body slam Fisher for the para right against Exeggutor. I forget exactly what I do here, but looking at this with fresh eyes, which is a lot of what I'm doing. I played these games like weeks ago at this point, or like 2 weeks ago, whatever it happens to be. Looking at this situation, I don't think body slamming again is a bad play, because why would he, like, he wouldn't sleep powder, he wouldn't stun spore against Jinx, right? And that's such an easy switch for me, because even if he does like get a double-edged crit or something like that, I outspeed and can kill him with Blizzard from here. But I guess I do just go, so a little bit cowardly on my part, and he gains the momentum by going to Snorlax. That's a bad play from me. I should have stayed in. Should have just body slammed again. Here's another bad play, I think, from me, because if I get parried, all I did was lose half my health for no reason. I could still switch Jinx into a bunch of things, so losing all that health wasn't a great idea. I do have to get the Blizzard off, fish for the crit, fish for the freeze, or just get some damage. Luckily I do hit, take a chunk out of Snorlax, and I know I switch out here. I go to my Chansey, which is a Reflect variant, so I can pretty much kind of reset the momentum here. I soft boiled on his Chansey, He throws out an Ice Beam. He's just looking to freeze me. For my part, I want to get this paired so that my Snorlax can realistically beat it. Chansey doesn't have a way of removing paralysis from itself in this generation. I mean, it does have rest, but I don't think I've ever seen that in my entire life. So I can realistically beat it with my Snorlax now, because all I need is a few turns. Like, if he's not paired, he can always beat me. I go into Jinx to pivot, I think, and get my rest off. So now I'm in a pretty decent position here. I have to switch into Snorlax, which sucks. I'm just gonna go back to my Chansey though. While he makes a switch into Exeggutor. Not too much changes, and he decides to, he's trying to change the pace of the game by going for that quick boom. I don't really get why. Like, I don't think getting rid of my Jinx was that important, and he could have, like... Actually, you know what? He could have been a little bit more aggressive and gone to Tauros, probably, to try, so then I can't just switch in Chansey, because he can crit me on the switch much more easily than Snorlax. So he kind of throws away his sleeper, and a boom in the back, all to get rid of my sleeping Jinx, which had already done his job by putting this to sleep, and took out a chunk of Dex. So we go Lax. I think we both reflect this turn. He starts Ice Beaming me, so he's going to win this war because I am Reflect, Boom, Sleep, Body Slam. I know he's going to beam again, so I go into Cloister. Now I can just clamp him down. You'll notice throughout the rest of this match, either Mael was, 1, way too sick of fucking playing to care about it, or 2, doesn't really know how to play against Clamp. I think it's the former out of those, because I know him as a pretty good player. But yeah, he doesn't make me waste any clamps at all. Like, he just lets me kind of use him. This is where it comes into play. This is why I think he doesn't know how to play against Clamp, because look how much that did, 10%. If I continue my clamp down, he's in blizzard range without much of an issue. So I'm thinking he's gonna want to make me waste PP and go into something like Chansey, which can take clamps for like a long time until it's in a scary range. That's why I go to Snorlax, so I can threaten the Body Slam on Chansey, and kind of just put him under pressure, or and it gets rid of his Reflect Lax that's in. So I think he, it's always easy to say that when something doesn't go your way, but I think he misplays here, and it just happens to work out for him. So I like you can assume, I decided to switch out because I don't want to take Ice Beams. He can rest off anything I do to him. I'm not going to get a crit because it's 5%. So I just go back to Cloister. He's smart, takes a chance to rest. If he Body Slammed and I got paired on Cloister, that kind of could have sucked. I missed my clamp, but then I get it the next turn. I clamp him down for a little while. It's an interesting prospect because Chansey's his best thing to take clamp, obviously. But also, he's not really pressuring me by staying in here. His only hope is that I miss it the next time that I have to go for it again, and that he can T-Wave me. But the chance of that is 0.85 times, 0.15 times 0.75, because he also has to break through Para. Basically, I'm in the driver's seat right here, right? What can he realistically do to Cloister? He probably might have T-Bolt, which will do a chunk. I don't actually know that role, but I can definitely take one. So I clamp him down for a little while, expecting him just to switch. I want him to dance to my tune. So I clamp him. Oh, here, and this is also what makes me think, and kind of confirms the thought that I had at the time. He doesn't know what he's doing against Clamp. In Gen 1, if you crit the first Clamp, the rest of them are crits. So I'm doing a significant amount more damage. I'm not doing 5, 6, I'm doing 9 or 10. So I'm whittling this Chansey down very, very quickly with a 15 base power move. Well, if I continue, I only got 2 there, I guess. But I can clamp him again. I'm putting him in pretty good ranges here. I think he realized this turn, turn 29, it took a while to click my move. So he probably knew Clamp was up. This is also a mechanic that they just instituted. The opponent used to know when Clamp was over or when Wrap was over. You don't know anymore, because that's actually how it is in the cartridges. It just doesn't tell you, I have to Clamp again. So I was calcing Hyper Beam, because I didn't know the role. It does kill Chansey from here. So I think because of the time I took, he kind of came to the conclusion, oh, he probably is out of clamps, let's see what he goes for. So he goes into Tauros as I hyper beam him. Makes the right, like, I don't know if Tauros, well, yeah, looking at the rest of his team, Tauros was the right play. But he makes a good play, because now I have to recharge, and he can fish for a paralysis with Body Slam. He gets nothing on the first one, but on the second one he gets a crit para, which is kind of shitty for me. I clamp him and get a crit, which is kind of nice for me. I think I just boomed, or I just blizzarded here because he's in blizzard range. Oh, I'm sorry. I was mid-clamp still. I parried on the clamp. So I switch back out to Tauros. He goes for a Hyper Beam. It's not like, it's like if he crit, it would have been nice for him, but it's kind of neutral for us because like now he's not locked in if he didn't want to. He body slams for his part. I body slam and don't kill. I would have just went for the Hyper Beam crit if I was him there, because alright, so regular body slam does 24, Hyper Beam does a little less than 48 with that same roll, so say like 45. 45 times 2 would have killed me from there, obviously. And I kill his Tauros. I body slam once to put him in self-destruct range so that he can't play reflect games with me anymore because I don't have a healthy Cloyster. He's got like nothing left except Zapdos. Zapdos can give me a fucking huge issue, as always. So I go Tauros, he goes Zapdos. I'm looking for that para and I get it first turn, so that's really, really lucky for me. He pairs me. I go for as much damage as I can without beaming, which is Blizzard. I get the crit, he gets the crit, I full para, he full paras, and I think I just kill him here. Yep. And then I think I just sweep with Tauros. Yeah, because he's in beam range, I get the beam off. And then he's asleep here. I think I just switch right to Exeggutor because it would be terrible luck, but he could like first turn wake as I para and then psychic sweep me like with terrible, terrible luck aside from Eggy. But he can always Thunder Wave and then Seismic Toss Eggy down, which would require 4 full paras. So yeah, I just bring Exeggutor in on Alakazam and explode, and I'm up 1-0. So now it's into game 2, GSC. Lax Nidoking, I just go for the Lovely Kiss first turn, and he predicts that by going into Zapdos because he has Sleep Talk. I decide to risk it because it is 33% chance that he gets anything useful here. While I have a 100% chance, and even a crit doesn't kill me, I have a 100% chance of getting that damage off. Then I switch into T-Tar as he does get the HP Ice, and I take more or less nothing from that, so it was a useful switch for me. I know he's going to want to go into something that comfortably takes a Rock Slide, because he doesn't want to throw away Zapdos here. And to do anything, like to have a meaningful turn against my T-Tar, he needs to Sleep Talk, roll a Thunder, and actually hit, which is 33% chance times 70% chance, so it's more or less in my favor. Well, it's actually quite clearly in my favor. So I go for a Dynamic Punch, hoping to get a free turn while scouting his team. If I hit something, I do hit the Rhydon, so I look pretty good here. Gives me that free turn as I go into Cloyster because he does hit himself. I don't think that Earthquake would have done very much. I think I just spike. Yep, I just spike up on his Cloyster. He spikes up on me. I have the HP Electric this time. Yeah, it's like a weird non-2-hit KO, I think, most of the time with HP Electric, but I forget the rules exactly. I think it's very rarely a 2-hit KO. So HP Electric. HP Electric again, this is a bad play from me. I should have known he would go to something that could take it. He's not just going to throw away his Cloyster for no reason. But I do middling damage to Exeggutor. And I actually do have the Ice Beam, so I do a ton of damage here. He gains a ton of damage, or a ton of life back with Giga Drain. So here, I'm in a pretty interesting situation. Obviously I'm faster, so Ice Beam will just kill. He's going to want to go to something to take an Ice Beam. I'm thinking Cloyster. I decide to hedge my bets and just explode here, knowing that I'll be able to get something out of the way, and I don't have to make a super risky prediction of which one of these two I'm actually going to hit. He goes back into Zapdos as I go into Nidoking. Again, this isn't a horrible situation for me, but I still switch out to T-Tar because of the chances of him having a meaningful move against me are pretty low. He gets the HP Ice, which doesn't really do anything. I believe I just Rock Slide this turn. Yeah, he's probably thinking I might D-Punch there, trying to catch this. So Rock Slide was a good play for me. I am actually Pursuit Tar, and Pursuit kills even if he stays in, so I just go for it here. Get rid of the Exeggutor. So he goes into Rhydon. I don't want to take an Earthquake here, so I go into my Meganium. I don't really know what Meganium's supposed to do. He roars me out, but I get a good deal of luck there, and I don't go into anything that he can threaten too much. Well, he can't threaten me at all because I outspeed and kill. Switching into Vaporeon really sucks in this generation. He goes into Zapdos. In my last recording, in my first version of this, I kind of explained how surfing here again wouldn't be a horrible play. Because again, it's 1/3 of 70% chance that he actually hits me. So I don't know. He's Lovely Kiss Sleep too, so he doesn't know when he's gonna wake up. I decided to just be a little bit safer because there's no reason to act like a goofball in a game where I have a pretty definitive lead and I definitely have the momentum. So I go into T-Tar. He sleeps again. Oh yeah, he doesn't even sleep talk this turn. He's just trying to wake up. I D-Punch again, knowing that he needs this now, and he knows he needs it because it's the only thing that can, I think, like, aside from his Snorlax, super reliably beat my Vaporeon, and even Snorlax isn't like 100% chance. So D-Punch, I just want my free turn. Like, this could take a Rock Slide, but he's not going to want to go to it. I don't know what this is. If I hit something with D-Punch, even if I have to switch out next turn, I have a 50% chance of not being punished for it. So I knock Rhydon down to, 12% and 11%. Pursuit kills again, even if he stays in, because Rhydon's Spadef is kind of ass. He goes into D-Knight. We have a bit here in the conversation, you'll see, because I apologize because he misses his own Dynamic Punch here. It's right here. I apologize for that. I'd just like to talk about that for a moment, I guess. You don't have to apologize for shit like that, and honestly, to a degree, it's a little bit rude, because realistically, I'm super glad that he misses a D-Punch on a Tyranitar that threatens the rest of his team. Like, obviously, I don't want him to hit, I want him to miss, even though I hit too. I think it would be great if he missed every move from here on out. Looking at the game, I don't know how much it mattered. I think I could close this out kind of regardless. Like, Snorlax could always turn a game around, but who knows. So he misses his Dynamic Punch. I just Rock Slide. I don't know why he Ice Beams this turn, but it does middling damage as I Rock Slide again for the kill. Now again, it's more or less processional. He goes into Snorlax. I actually hit another Dynamic Punch, and this time he hits himself too. Here, it's in my favor because I outspeed. It is, for me to have a free turn here, it is a 70% chance times a 50% chance. Actually, 20. Rock Slide Flinch is, I'm sorry, I said that all wrong. 27% chance. For him to hit me, it is a 73% chance times 50% chance. So whatever the remainder of that is my chance to have a free turn here. So obviously Rock Slide is my smartest play because it's going to be a 2-hit KO from there. He hits himself. The chances of him breaking through are pretty low. I Rock Slide again. Yeah, here's where this sorry stuff comes in. I should never have said it, and I apologize to him after the game. And yeah, he's not gonna beat my team. Oh, and it turns out he has Thunderbolt, so not even Thunder. Like, I'm not super scared of Thunderbolt, because the parry chance is lower. It's a lot weaker. So Rock Slide twice, and that is GSC. Finally, we go into DPP. I lead Flygon, he leads Crobat. I get pretty good luck on the first turn. I T-Punch him, reveal that I'm Scarf, as he Brave Birds, but the recoil doesn't kill him, luckily for him, and he recovers a little bit with Leftovers. I make a stupid play here. This is pretty bad. Like, he knows that I'm Scarf, why wouldn't he just go to a Groundmon? But I T-Punch right again into him. Like, obviously I didn't want him to recover on me, but he can do that against so many other things because Crobat's so fast. Like, why would he stay in with Crobat for essentially no reason? I switch to my Breloom as he outpredicts me this turn, knowing that I'll go to something that can reliably take on Rhyperior, and Breloom's a pretty obvious choice for that if I do have one. I get annoyed. Oh, I talked about this in my, you'll see in 1 second. Oh no, that's a little bit later. But I get annoyed that he outpredicts me here, and that comes into play a little later. So I decide to play really, really aggressively this turn, knowing he'll take his roost. I just decide to put him to sleep. For his part, I don't think that affects him too much because he reveals this turn that he does have the sleep talk. He sleep talks a brave bird right into my Heatran and gets the crit. I don't think that matters too much. So he goes into Starmie. I set up my rocks. I decided to play pretty hasty here because I don't want to deal with Starmie too much, and with it up, the team that I have, I don't think it's going to keep rocks up like terribly much, so I just boom as he spins. I am Pasho, so he wasn't going to kill me with anything anyway. I just thought, let's end that. He goes out into his Sleep Talk Crobat as I go out into my Melodic. I don't know what he has, doesn't have revealed, so I just Ice Beam into a Bliss, end up wasting some momentum on my part. I go right into Breloom as he goes into his Crobat, so he's basically just playing me right now. I switch into my T-Tar, which is my Brave Bird resist if he does happen to roll that with Sleep Talk, which he does. Does a middling amount of damage. I think this is the part where, yep. Okay, so right here is this is where like I am sometimes a bit emotional of a player. It works out for me here, but I didn't like really logically consider this turn. So because BKC is talking in the battle, and he noticed, you know, all these doubles and Mael outplaying me, he says in the chat, stop him. And like when I play, I want to be the center of attention, like I want to be the superstar. So I got really annoyed actually, like internally, that, you know, oh man, the audience is kind of in his favor right now. He's making all these cool plays. So I decided to make a play of my own. It is actually a decent play because it's like a half crown. I hit everything that he has revealed here. And he goes right out into his Rhyperior. I Aqua Tail it, send that to the Shadow Realm. He goes out into Gyarados. I'm going to go right out into my HP Electric Milotic while he goes into Jirachi. Jirachis are Spadef in this gen a lot, and it could like set up and kind of take advantage of Milotic because I have to, if I even want to do a modest amount of damage to it, I have to hit it with Hydro Pump, which is kind of a shitty move to really be going for. So I take my chance and I go into Flygon. I want to threaten him with the Earthquake, but he calls that play pretty well, stays in as I U-turn. But I know he ends up going for Psychic. I figure out that he's like Psychic T-Volt pretty quickly. I go into Gengar to sack it, knowing that's not going to do very much to the rest of his team. It's a Life Orb version, I think, or it's Life Orb, so it can't really touch any of this stuff. He gets the Para, which means I don't get like a bit of chip damage off, but that's not really important at all. I EQ into the Jirachi this time because I'm nervous about a +1 Jirachi and I just want to scare it out. He goes into Crobat, calls that pretty well. I want to look cool, so I EQ again, thinking he might double back to Jirachi as I go into, you know, Milotic or T-Tar. He just burns a sleep turn, so I look kind of foolish. He burns another sleep turn here. He wakes up finally and roosts as I go for the crunch and do 8 billion damage to him. He has no good switch into this. He U-turns on me, and you'll see that he goes into Gyarados, gets me the -1, but I still do half. Like, that's not a comfortable switch in for him. He's going to be 2 KO'd. I'm going back into my Milotic, and he knows that, so he goes right into Jirachi to try and wrestle back some momentum. This time I do go for the Hydro Pump just to scout the damage as he goes for a Wish. Knowing that I'm not winning this one-on-one, I hop right into Flygon and catch the T-Bolt, so that's pretty good for me because it does no damage. I'm going to EQ again, just because last time I U-turned when he was at neutral. He goes for the Wish. I know he's going to pass it to one of these two, so I switch right back out into my Tyranitar as he goes into Crobat, and I am just going to crunch on him for another huge chunk of damage. So we start playing this game as he, like, obviously he can't roost on me because I'm doing far too much. He U-turns and gets out of there, goes right back into the Gyarados, but just as I had said, it is a 2-hit KO. So he doesn't have a great switch in here. I mean, Crobat's not really a great switch in. I'm just going to crunch this because I don't want to switch anything into him. And I'm still doing a pretty huge amount of damage. And if I get that defense drop, you know, obviously he can't stay in, but I do get the crit. I think that was my first crit all game. I don't feel terrible about that one because I've thrown out far more attacks than him. He's roosted a ton, he's sleep talked a ton, he's calm-minded, he has a Blissey, Rapid Spin. I'm the one that's clicking attacks almost every turn, like I'm the one that's going to get the crits. So he goes into Blissey. I don't want to switch anything into this really particularly either. He seismic tosses, but now he needs to be at a high amount of health, so I think he's just going to start soft boiling. I don't know what he does because I do end up critting it again, but I mean, come on, I can't lose from here really. I could just EQ spam as long as that's lowish. He forfeits and that's the game, so I end up beating Mael in the second Tiebreaker series, and all I had to do from that point was beat Helpona, which was a tough series in and of itself, but I will record that one for a different day. Thanks for